Hello and welcome to another Arkis video and to a new 2 million credit lap time challenge on Gran Turismo 7. We are at Interlagos and we are in the 1984 Ferrari GTO on sports medium tires. I tried this lap time challenge on Thursday evening on another account, got down to a 141.2 something. Then I went on this account on Friday morning trying to beat my own time and eventually tried to get into the 140s. We're going to have a look at my best attempt so far, look at some brake markers and also some general tips on how to drive this old school turbo laggy supercar from the 80s. And if you are enjoying the content, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button. It is highly appreciated. Now let's jump into this one. This is a short recap of my morning. It took me around 80 kilometers to beat my previous best time with 41.2 flat. And then it took me another 80 kilometers to just improve a bit. I struggled a bit to get into a rhythm, but then suddenly, you can see the frustration kicking in. And then after a few more laps, I seem to have unlocked something because now the time suddenly started to come down within every other 10 kilometers, and now the time is dropping to a 141.140, and this is where we pick it up. And the question is, can we get into the 140s?
A few moments later.
And at this point, I was getting a bit nervous on my own behalf and
Get on with it!
Yes, get on with it!
oh, right, yeah. So let's have a look at some brake markers. The first one is this small escape road. I think it might be, just that, an escape road just before the 150 board. Hard onto the brakes just as we are level with that one. Brake in a straight line. Don't be too aggressive with the downshifts. Now we are briefly using a bit of first gear just to rotate the car. Quickly back up to second. Now we are accelerating, but we are lifting and upshifting to third gear to change the direction of the car. And the same thing here, as soon as we are at the end of the light green stop, we upshift to fourth gear, still lift a bit. I'm trying to get the car sort of into a groove where you get just a tiny bit of rotation from the oversteer, but not too much. Now we are actually looking at that lighter part of the barrier as soon as that leaves the screen, and before the 150 board I am hard onto the brakes and we are going down to second gear and just letting the car coast in. It's really important to just let it roll up to third. Don't come onto the power too aggressively. You need the car to settle first, but then we are accelerating out of there. I think I am short shifting. This car has a big drop off above 7,000 RPM. So yeah, and we use the 100 board as a marker for this one, and we are carefully coming off the brakes down to third and down to second for a short moment for some rotation, back up to third. And notice how I'm not fully on the power. You need to really use that 90% throttle a lot of the time. Here we've got a nice marker on the tarmac at the side of the track. We are going down to, I think, briefly first gear for a bit of rotation, back up to second gear. And once again, watch as I'm not fully onto the power to begin with. And roughly around here, I don't have a specific marker, but here I am on the brakes again. Not fully onto the brakes, roughly around 50%. And I'm trying to get onto the power as early as possible, but still being careful not coming onto the power at 100% too soon. Here, before that tarmac strip leaves the screen, you need to brake. We are going down to first gear once again for a short moment just to rotate the car, back up to second gear. And once again you'll see that I am trying to be careful as I'm coming onto the power. Here I am upshifting to third, and then we are lifting almost fully off the throttle, and here I'm trying to play with the throttle to get that bit of rotation oversteer again and without running wide. Here, as soon as the 100 board leaves my screen, I am hard onto the brakes down to second gear, but just before the apex we're coasting in, I am going back up to third and carefully coming on the power. You can see I lifted for a short moment because the car can jump a bit. I also had a slight wiggle on the outside curb there, and that might have lost me a bit of time. But this lap turned out to be a fair improvement compared to the small improvements I had done so far. We are going down to a 140.814, and I was happy with that. That was actually the lap immediately after my previous improvement, and that put me within the top 1%, at least for now. So I'm happy with that. We are going to have a look at the lap in chase cam. We are braking just before that 150 board, and down through the gears, short moment of first gear for rotating the car. We are lifting and upshifting to third gear, and here up to fourth, and playing a bit with the throttle until we get the rotation we want. Now we are looking at the lighter part of the barrier at the left hand side, as well as the 150 board, but you need to brake before the 150 board. Using second for rotation, back up to third. Be careful as you come onto the power down the hill there. I'm short shifting to fourth gear, and looking for the 100 board. Now we are going down to second gear for a short moment, back up to third. Being careful coming onto the power. It's easy to get too much oversteer, and you just want to keep that right hand rotation. Don't unsettle the car. That's the tricky part about this track. You are basically doing a corner all of the time. It's not like just do a corner, go straight, do a corner, go straight. Also, the corner exits have some sort of curve to it. So that's a tricky part about Interlagos, which I am trying to learn myself as well. Now down to second gear, back up to third, so we get the turbo boost and can get a good third gear pull up the hill. We are short shifting to fourth gear, and since I could see I was on a good lap, we are staying towards the left hand side of the track, and as we saw, across the line in a sub 141. So it's a fun time trial. It's a bit of a tricky car to learn how to figure out, and in my case it is a bit of a tricky track as well. You really need to be careful, really need to pay attention to only using 90% of throttle out of many corners until you really feel the car is fully settled. But once you start to figure it out, it's good fun, this one. And that is it for me for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it entertaining, maybe even somewhat useful. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye bye.